welcome to our second hour here on World Crisis Radio. This is Webster Tarpley reporting from Washington, D.C. But now let's go directly to Athens, Greece, in many ways the epicenter of this current crisis that obviously threatens the entire world financial system and the politics around it, swirling. So our wonderful correspondent, Michael Chiotinis, is on the line. And Michael, I understand we've tried to lay out the Tsipras article in Le Monde, Tsipras' speech in the Parliament today, and you want to add to that. So please go ahead.
Yes, thank you very much. Now, Wednesday night, Greek Prime Minister Tsipras met with the President of the European Commission, Jean-Claude Juncker, who presented him a proposal for an agreement forgetting everything that has been discussed in the last 4 months between Greece and the lender institutions. That was actually the reason why he convened a meeting of all political parties' leaders in Parliament today. Right before all this, Tsipras had sent a 47-page complete proposal to the lender institutions. In the same time, let me add, Schäuble made a statement saying, I haven't found the time to read the Greek proposal yet. What is he really saying? He's saying, I don't care about the Greek proposal. He's trying to show utter contempt for what the Greek government proposes. So why such audacity from the part of Schäuble? If not the only thing that's on the table is the humiliation of Syriza. Now, Tsipras, of course, stated that the proposal that Juncker gave him couldn't possibly be the basis of any discussion. But let's see.
These are the absurd demands, right? The absurd.
Yeah. But
right?
Let us see a couple of short points included in this proposal, because I think it shows a lot about what the real goals are here. I'm sorry, it's really funny, if not tragic. One is the abolishment of the reduced VAT, the value-added tax for Greek islands, which was just a balancing measure for their economies, because they face much higher prices due to the cost of transportation of goods by ship.
Right.
And so that's a hit on the island. And the other is an increase by 10 percentage points in the VAT, the value-added tax for energy. This will simply destroy any industry left in the country and also put tens of thousands of households out of electricity, into darkness, back to the Stone Age. Now, these two alone...
By the way, it's a highly regressive tax.
Yes, regressive tax. The worst kind of taxation. These two alone, these two measures included, let alone all the other things in the proposal, would destroy any economic activity left in the country and, very importantly, quite simply assassinate any remaining competitive advantage of the Greek economy, namely the islands, because it's sad, but that's all that's left here. Now, why are they doing this? Let me give you a quick reminder. Greek unemployment is officially 27%, a frightening number, but a number that barely captures the severity of the situation. It doesn't count discouraged workers who have given up and have put themselves out of the labor force altogether. It doesn't count so-called freelancers, self-employed, people who own small businesses, who have no real income, as any income goes towards rent and taxes. So, and income has fallen very much. So they are in fact a kind of hidden unemployment. Taking into account all these, real unemployment is closer to 40% or more. But 5 years of this policy, and the Europeans insist Greece needs more of it. Why? Why is that? Well, I'm sorry to say, but unfortunately we have come to a sad realization. The Greek economy is being deliberately destroyed. The aim...
Michael, we got this problem again. Reverend Pinckney's on the line. You know how it works. He's got that meter going in the background. Can we have you wait, and we'll be back to you as soon as that's over? But now, back to Michael Chiotinis in Athens, and we were up to this idea that the absurdity of the Juncker's proposals seem to be the idea that you want to humiliate Greece, crush Greece. What is it? That they want primitive accumulation against Greece and turn all the Greeks into low-wage workers in German-financed companies? What do we have?
Yes, I was saying 5 years of policies dictated by Europeans. The Greek society is in ruins, and they insist Greece needs more of it. The effect of it is as follows. Anyone can be the judge of whether this was part of the plan or not, but let me give you some points I have here in my notes. Number one, an enormous pool of low and medium-skilled, unemployed, and desperate workers has been and is being created. Number two, they have dismantled the traditional way of living in production based on ownership in a small scale. Not that we should be aiming at that, but what we had. That is what we had, and the basis to work on and to build real industry on. Number three, the state itself, along with the social safety net and labor unions, have been and are being dismantled. Number four, skilled workforce has been and is being driven out of Greece. And number five, they have tried to give incentives for big multinational corporations to quote-unquote invest in Greece through privatizations or sellouts, for a better word, in order to gain independence from the BRICS as much as possible. In other words, create sweatshop industry inside the immediate sphere of influence of these financiers, which is very simply all countries under the euro and the dollar. So the sad realization is that the aim here is to build sweatshop economies inside this sphere of influence of the euro and the dollar, for that matter. And indeed, inside the hardcore of the Western world. Don't forget the IMF is a big part of it, as Schäuble insisted it should be. We can point out the TPP also for this, that the plan is to cut the BRICS, the power of the BRICS. So it seems to me that the dollar versus euro battle has been put somewhat on hold since the European Central Bank also announced quantitative easing, QE, and the euro-dollar exchange rate has stabilized near parity. So the kind of social engineering implemented in Greece in the last 5 years, I don't think this was a mistake. I think it was deliberate. Of course, this deliberation is expressed in various levels of consciousness, but we can't continue talking about ideology or rules or ethics or any of these things. It never was about the lenders wanting to take their money back. That's one of the levels of rhetoric that has been used. A bank bailout was, of course, in the plan, but I don't even think that's the main point. Also, it was never about this ideological insanity about big government and neoliberalism and these kind of things. That was another level of rhetoric used, widely used. They don't care about the efficiency of the state bureaucracy. On the contrary, they care about the dismantling of even this last bit of political institution that gets in the way of a complete colonization of the weaker European economies. In other words, they designed a European political structure that guarantees that the average citizen could not have any power over the decisions that are made. And then, of course, an economic and monetary union under the dictatorship of the European Central Bank and the Maastricht Treaty to advance the social model that fits the interests of finance and the oligarchies that control big industry in Europe, mostly the competitive ones, big German industry and such industries, which of course could have the competitive advantage in a monetary union. So you see what I'm saying here?
Create this vast pool of low-wage labor. Poland would be an example, Eastern Europe, and this plays in somehow to the Ukrainian crisis because Ukraine would emphatically be part of that German-dominated low-wage labor pool.
Yeah.
So, your conclusions?
I think we have to seriously consider ways of getting out of this trap for the weaker European economies. And I think we should try to hijack the euro, or the euro should break up, because I don't know what future can these societies have in a union that imposes this kind of a social model. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. It's going to be a question of either you get Spain, Portugal, Greece, Ireland, whoever you can get. You've got to get a group of countries that attempts to take over the European Central Bank, that fights back against this stuff. You can do that more effectively from inside the euro, but then, as you say, ultimately, if Schäuble is determined to destroy the euro, well, then Schäuble will have destroyed the euro, and we'll have to take it from there. So it's unfortunate, because remember, anybody who leaves will come under instant heavy-duty speculative attack, and their living standard will be ravaged unless they can put in
capital controls or these kind of measures, I suppose you mean. And the thing is that the Greek economy is in such low levels that even a very devalued currency could have a growth effect. But we certainly need to examine the case of a hijacking of the euro, I think. And how could something like this be done here?
Having all kinds of trouble with our sound, but yes, we got to study this. In other words, we need to develop options now. We need to develop alternative scenarios. The best is if these Portuguese socialists do something. The best is if we can get a better leadership on the Podemos side in Spain. And indeed, if some revival could take place in some of the larger countries. But that's going to take a while. In the meantime, we've obviously got this chicken situation, right? If Schäuble really wants to, he can blow up the euro at the end of the month.
Yes, but I don't think that he's likely to want to blow up the weapon that he's using for social for imposing these kind of policies. I mean,
but then he's going to have to make some concessions. Let's see what they are.
Yes, but on the other hand, these concessions, if Schäuble makes concessions, other countries may go the way of Greece.
Right, and let's in the sense of resisting austerity, let's hope they do. Okay, I'm sorry, we're out of time. We're going to be focused on Greece all during June, Michael, so we need you with us. We'll see you soon.